trying to think of a video subject. So much going on in the world, in my own life, I don't know, like sort of, sorry, I'll start now, I guess. I'm Noah Vortex. Welcome to my channel. This is going to be a video about a lot of things, really, I guess. Just try and get everything that's going on in my head about, thinking about the world, society at large, the pandemic, technology, the future, the past, and just shit that's going on inside my own head as well, because obviously those two things are mutually exclusive. Like the world outside and the world inside obviously are directly linked, because your internal state can be is obviously influenced by external world, especially with the internet, because there's got this external sort of network which is always being sort of directed in our direction. The sort of everything is a network now. It's basically in the sort of metaphysical space that is the internet, which is a metaphysical manifestation of human consciousness, really, in a lot of ways. It's like raw consciousness, isn't it, essentially? I mean, the interesting thing about the internet, if you look at it from a sort of Jungian perspective, is that it's basically the collective unconscious, but accessible at the press of a button, which is actually quite interesting. If you actually think about that quite deeply, that's never really existed. It's existed in small scale sort of communities for, that you could have these icons and the collective archetypes emerging from in a smaller scale. But it's the first time that, like if I want to, I don't know, let's just try Croatian mythology, I don't know, something random like that. I can now just access that straight away, the click of a button. And everything on the internet is, so like there's the night hag. That's apparently a Croatian mythology thing. That actually sounds quite interesting. Night hag. That sounds like a sort of just imagining obviously like a witch with a green nose and shit. Also, like, I don't know. I mean, I guess that sort of represents the old crone in the archetype of the old sort of like woman. I don't know. It's weird with that. Like, just go off a tangent now, because this is what this video is going to be 100%. So I think it's weird how that exists in mythology. Actually, this sort of idea of the old crone. It's a bit disrespectful to women in a lot of respects when you think about it. It's sort of like, yeah, women get old, men get old, both sexes get old. Should respect that in a way. Like, not automatically by itself. I mean, you shouldn't just respect somebody because they're old. You can get old people who are actually really ignorant, surprisingly enough, and very bigoted. But I've had like quite a few older friends, I tend to be drawn to like older people, friendships and everything, because you can learn a lot from the old ones. Actually, you learn basically everything, essentially. They've always got stories to tell. That's the most interesting thing about old people. They've got so many stories. They could write probably 20 books, probably more in some people's cases, which is, sort of very, it's actually hugely beneficial to the sort of, community of people in the world. If you live in a community, old people are probably the most, they're like the elders of the village, if you will. They've got a deep level of understanding of life, and the goods and the bads, everything in between. But yeah, so I don't know how I got into that. My mate's just texted me to ask me how my painting's going, and I just need to finish some bits of it off. I'm working on that myself, so I might as well share. I'm doing a long form vlog. So I'm working on this at the minute. Obviously this line is horrible, so I need to fix it a bit. It's basically painting of like architectural spaces, I guess. That's why my work's quite randomly developed into my artwork. So sort of, going into this sort of like That's liminal space, I suppose, in a sense. Abstract liminal space. But yeah, anyway, that's creativity. So anyway, I was talking about old people, wasn't I? And the elders. And yeah, I mean, these people have had experiences, which is... So I got to know from Croatian mythology and the collective unconscious, the internet and everything else. I mean, we've got to accept, as a human society, that this technology is this sort of collective unconscious network that we've created cannot be. It's not going anywhere unless there was a big disaster infrastructure-wise. This thing is here, and I think the real way to learn like deep life lessons about our human nature and human consciousness is to actually use it a lot. Don't be judgmental when you use it, and sort of, dig deep into just really random stuff basically on the internet. Like, I've always been fascinated by like sort of weird culture and subcultures and these weird myths and all these weird stories. I've been very drawn to weirdness my entire life. I am a weirdo. I'm a freak. I'm a freak. I've always been a freak. I guess, like, I'm sort of like, I'm going on to me now, but why not? I just may as well. I mean, just roll with it. So yeah, I'm a freak. I've always been a bit of a freak. I've always taken a great deal of strength from that. Actually, I don't believe in conforming to an idea of what I should be. I am myself. Nobody has much influence over that, really. It's like a sort of rugged, fierce individualism sort of philosophy, I suppose. Yeah, I'm a freak, like I'm into metal, punk, electronic music, weird music, IDM, obviously drug culture, like queerness to a certain level, like all that sort of stuff, like alternative political ideologies, blah blah blah, and yeah, I've always been a bit of a freaky freak, go freaky. I mean, nobody buys a book called Deleuzian Guattari Anti-Oedipus if they're relatively sane and normal, Anti-Oedipus is a good read, actually. It's head funk, but it's very, very, very interesting about. It's hard to understand as well. There's concepts of the body without organs. The body without organs, and it talks about. I mean, it's very disturbing read, to be honest, as well. But I'm basically going back to the disturbing things you can find on the collective consciousness, spherical metaspace collective plug-in system, which is the internet. Everyone's a freak on some level anyway. I'm sure of that. I'm sure that even your most straight-laced conservative, I actually think the further you are on the extreme ends of the left and the right, actually, like if you're a Stalinist or if it's like an authoritarian socialist, and if you're like fascist, or crypto-fascist or whatever, I think those people are, and this is nothing revelatory, but I think often those people are there because they're so externally focused on this idea of everything being ordered, and they're being, because a lot of people who are were involved in authoritarian leftist or rightist regimes, the whole focus becomes on highly ordered, sort of, I guess, technocratic in some ways, but even more sinister manner. But they're very focused on ordering externally. They're always looking good in their uniform, not looking good really, but they think they're projecting this power image by wearing a tie or all of the usual signifiers of sort of masculine, authoritative, sort of monolithic power, I guess. But yeah, that's where I was. It's been 10 minutes now, so I'll probably finish the video in a minute. That guy's got a good beret. And it's just a couple walking down there. This dude's got a beret on, black beret. Maybe that's the next stage for me. I'm changing my fashion style a bit at the minute. I got this t-shirt, which I love, Schrodinger's cat one. And yeah, starting to update my wardrobe a bit because it's a bit, you know, it's worn, just to put it mildly. Alright, I'll end this video here. I mean, there's probably a few bits of interesting ideas in there, I think. A few little tidbits. Like I said, these are basically live philosophy sessions, so I'm basically philosophizing as an exercise off the top of my head. I guess the subject of this has been, you know, being an outsider, being a freak, the internet, and like looking at that from a somewhat Jungian perspective, and yeah, just that's what I really want to say. So au revoir.